Let's talk about sleep, that supremely necessary function which we think should have somehow been evolutionized away. No, we are as efficient as we can be, and we are a damned efficient unit, one that requires sufficient sleep to restore the functions that we've been expending all day. And the beauty of sleep is that when you close your eyes, your brain just doesn't do what it does during the day slowly. It does a whole separate set of functions. So for instance, your brain has four basic wavelengths. These are bands of electrical activity known as beta, which you're in right now, observing this. If you calm down, close your eyes, and relax a little bit, you'll step down into alpha. This is where people do their meditation. Going slower than that, though, you're going to lose consciousness, because that is 4 to 7 hertz, and that is theta. Theta is where adults spend most of their evening, over 50%. And this is a period where it's thought that memories are consolidated, and we learn. Information goes from one part of the brain to the other, and it has to travel in longer wavelengths, meaning it can't happen during the day because the wavelengths are too short. And then the most precious frequency for all humanity is called delta, and this is the slowest frequency, from 1 to 4 hertz. Now, in delta, something very particular happens in your brain. It slows so far that the rhythms actually pulse from front to back, and in so doing are able to slightly contract the brain with every pulse, like a little heart. Of course, as we get older, we're not really getting into the ones and twosies. We're basically into the 3s and 4s. The brain is very reluctant to get too slow. But when it does get into the 3s and 4s, for instance, the brain shrinks a little bit on every pulse. When that happens, a magical process occurs in that the fluid surrounding your brain right now, between your skull and the physical brain itself, called cerebrospinal fluid, it becomes lymphatic fluid. It's the same fluid, only it permeates the brain. And when it does this, it cleans up all of the things which an aging brain accumulates, like plaque and tau, which are associated with pathologies like Alzheimer's disease, bad things. And I think it's no coincidence that as we get older and our time in delta diminishes, so does our cognitive capacity and our memory. My point to you is that in all things fitness, sleep is almost paramount, but sleep is the thing which we treat most cavalierly, isn't it? We'll sleep when we have a chance. No. If you want a strong body and a strong mind, you're going to sleep. You're going to premeditate sleep. You're going to do what you can to enhance your sleep. Whatever ritual you have to participate in, making your body cold before sleep sometimes helps. Making your body very hot as it cools down helps you drop down to the zone, because your body has to cool about 1 degree centigrade to sleep. Of course, you know about caffeine. So there are a myriad of things out there which you can do to enhance your sleep. And so what I'm encouraging you to do right now is to not treat it so lightly, is to treat it as absolutely essential, particularly as you get older. You can't replace it. You can't replace the functions that it does for you at night, particularly in cleaning things out. So delta is the place to be. It's elusive as you get older. Do everything you can to enhance your delta sleep, and you're going to have a far more restored body. This is relatively common knowledge. I'm saying in terms of hypertrophy and aerobic conditioning, it is essential. Just think about who the strongest athletes are. They're young, right? Their body is bursting and brimming because their mitochondria is so fresh and their brain is so fresh, and they're able to restore so well when they sleep. So like all things in terms of fitness and health, as you get older, there's much, much more premeditation required. I myself wear a couple of biofeedback devices. These are called wearables. This is a Ultrahuman, and this is an Aura. I wear both of them. These monitor my sleep and activities, and I appreciate that feedback because it is important to know when you're having a good night's sleep. Does aerobic activity enhance your ability to sleep? Resistance activity? What is the chemical balance that goes into it in terms of stimulants? So I want to bring these to the fore and tell you that you're kind of flailing around in life if you don't put your emphasis on sleep as the all-important restorative factor. See you later.